Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Fortitude Fix. I hope you're well. My name is DaShanna, and in today's video I am talking about the things that I am doing differently with baby number 2. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you be a part of the family. I'm super excited to bring this video to you, talking about the things that I'm gonna do differently. I am no longer a first-time mom, so there are some things that I learned and that I would like to change this go round. So let's go ahead and dive right in. In no particular order, I'm just gonna start listing these things off, but the first thing that I will be doing differently this time around is breastfeeding for longer. So I do hope and pray that I am able to successfully breastfeed this baby just like I did with Nova. I just want to make it to that year. I was so close with her. I breastfed for 10 months, but with this baby, I want to make it to that year. I recognize that that may not happen, that there may be issues this time, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with formula. Nova was on formula for a while there after the breastfeeding, but before like traditional milk. So, you know, it's okay. But I just wanted to do a little bit better and see how long I can go this go round, since there hopefully won't be any huge extenuating circumstances. The second thing that I will be doing differently is establishing a pump routine earlier on. So I had Nova in September and I was off on leave, and I went back to work in January. So I was blessed to have a good chunk of time. Granted, I know other places in the world have longer, but I did, you know, wait a little bit. For some reason, I was so nervous about pumping myself into an oversupply. I have no idea where that fear came from or like what rationale I had for it, but I wanted to wait a little bit and then pump because I didn't want to have too much milk, I guess, because I had heard like some scary stories about how that can be overwhelming as well. But I don't know, I just want to establish a routine from the start, at least times of the day that I pump, or at least how many times I want to pump, something like that. Also, specifically when I returned back to work, that was really hard for me to figure out what I was doing during the work day as it related to pumping, because I had all these meetings, I had all these emails, I had all these things, and I also had like the hands-free breast pumps, but I just couldn't seem to get on a good routine until way later. So I do hope that I can do that a little bit sooner this time. So the third thing that I plan to do differently this pregnancy is to get outside sooner and more often. For whatever reason with Nova, actually I know the reason. It was a freaking pandemic. I was afraid of everything. I had a new baby, first time mom. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to go anywhere, and so I want to go outside with baby, even by myself, but just get outside more. I feel like the sun and just the air and everything is just fresh and clear out there, and I just need to do something different. I stayed kind of like in hibernation in our bedroom for so long, way too long, and I want to get out sooner. But there was like a fear. I remember taking Nova out for the first time by myself, and I'm like, oh my god, we're outside, is it cold, is it windy? Like, I was freaking out. So anyway, I have a wrap, and I'm gonna put baby in the wrap, and we're gonna go outside and at least take a walk, even if it's just like around the block. I need to get outside. The fourth thing that I am doing differently this pregnancy is, it's so funny because it's like the opposite of what I just said, but I'm gonna just sit my butt down. So when I had Nova, we had family come up and kind of stay with us, and I had my mom come over and all that kind of stuff, but I felt like I needed to be around. I felt like I needed to hear the conversations. I felt like I needed to be where my baby was. So I know they wanted to see the baby, so therefore I would need to bring the baby. I wasn't fully comfortable with like just having the baby away from me for hours. So I would be down with everyone and like trying to host and like trying to be modest about my breastfeeding and trying to like do all of these things and be all of these things when I just really needed to sit down, whether that was downstairs with the rest of them or upstairs in my bed by myself or whatever. I just need to not have that mentality of like making other people feel, that sounds so bad. I just need to prioritize myself and my baby. I just need to not be so worried about being around, right? Or, you know, I was worried about if people would think that I was standoffish, or like if I was just like taking the baby away or whatever. But things I'm doing differently, not caring, sitting my butt down, okay, to heal. Because I had swollen legs and ankles. I had to give myself Lovenox injections, which is like a blood thinner. And like going to the bathroom was hard. There's Nova upstairs playing with dad. So I had a lot going on postpartum, immediately postpartum, and I just need to sit down. Okay, I'm gonna sit down. The fifth thing that I want to do differently and plan to do differently this time is really taking better care of myself and my fitness. I feel like I was just, I'm pregnant, it doesn't matter. And then I was like, I just had a baby, it doesn't matter. But I really need to be more active. I haven't felt myself in a very long time. I'm gonna have 2 under 2. My body has been doing a lot of things for a long time, and I just want to have this baby, do what I need to do for them, breastfeed, support them, etc. But also not let myself fall by the wayside, because I definitely did kind of fall into like the baby blues kind of thing, and I was like afraid to go outside, and I was afraid to be away from the baby because I was breastfeeding. I just felt like I couldn't do things, and I felt like my husband could do whatever he wanted, and I just felt a whole bunch of resentment and everything. So I need to prioritize myself, whether that's I'm reading a book for 30 minutes, whether I'm taking a shower, I'm walking around the block by myself, I pump and give you the bottle, and I go to Target again. Like whatever the case is, I need to do more of that to start feeling like myself sooner. The sixth thing that I will be doing differently is really just trying to create a schedule earlier on. So I recognize that having a newborn, it's like you're kind of on their schedule. I get that, but I feel like I let that go on for way too long. Way too long. I was at Nova's beck and call and whim for months, which again, it's my pleasure to do, but I feel like I could have implemented some sort of schedule or routine. I'm not saying I'm gonna have baby sleep at this time, wake up at this time as, you know, a two-week-old. But what I'm saying is, even if it's just like, this is when I get up, okay? This is when I start my day. If baby is sleeping, baby can sleep on me. This is where I'm gonna go down and eat breakfast. This is when I'm gonna take a shower, or I'm gonna walk, you know? Like I need to actually plan those things out and make those things happen, because I didn't last time, and it wasn't the best for my mental health and my sanity. So the next thing that I'm doing differently this time is I am not taking any breastfeeding or birthing classes. We did so together, my husband and I, during our last pregnancy with Nova. This pregnancy, because it's just so close, it just feels like, oh, it's very fresh. Yeah, it's very fresh. And I am a trained birth doula myself. So I live in this space, like birth work and doula work and pregnancy and mommy life, and just everything is just totally me, who I am. So I feel pretty confident, and I am actually excited. I don't know if you hear a lot of people say this, but I'm actually excited to give birth again. Yeah, I'm excited for it. So we're not doing any breastfeeding or birthing classes this go round, but I'm still excited to do those things, to breastfeed and to give birth. The next thing that I am doing differently is I want to utilize my space more. I felt that I was confined to my bed and like the baby's bassinet that was next to us, and like that was my life. That's where I ate, that's where I slept, that's where I watched TV. That's where I fed Nova, that's where everything happened. I want to take advantage of my space, even if it's coming down to sit on the rocking chair, or to, you know, lay on the couch, or bring all my pillows over, or bring the DockATot and put Nova on the couch with me while I chill and watch a show. Like I just want to experience my space more instead of isolating myself so much. Another thing that I'm gonna do differently is I am not going to try to give a newborn a bath in the bathtub. So the way that our bathtub is set up here, it's like right next to the toilet, so you can't really get to parts of the tub, or you have to position yourself in a certain way. Newborn babies, when wet, are the slipperiest things, and I'm trying to get in all the crevices, you know, they have on their arms and their necks, and I'm trying to do all this stuff, and my back killed. So literally I'm trying to recover. I'm on my like knees and that hurt, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I did it like once or twice and I was like, huh, duh, why don't I use my little like tub? I'll insert a picture, but it's like the thing that you put in the sink and like wash baby in the sink. They're tiny enough, it's fine. I get to stand up, like I'm not hurting my back. I have way more leverage. Like I'm doing that for the first long time, okay? For the first little bit. Sink baths and rub downs, okay? I'm not dealing with this bathtub and this water and this pool of water, right? Because the newborn is so tiny, it's like this pool, like I'm not dealing with it. I'm not. I was afraid she was gonna slip and fall under the water, and I just my hands and then the soap, and then not dealing, okay? Sinks only for the first little bit. So the last thing that I'm not doing is kind of like related to like health and supplements, is that I'm not taking any iron this pregnancy. The first pregnancy I did as a precaution because it was a first time, you know, mom. African American and Black puts me at kind of like a risk for certain deficiencies, etc., etc. And so they wanted to make sure that my iron was at a good place. So that if anything did happen or if it did drop, it wasn't dropping to a dangerous level. So with this pregnancy, I no longer fit some of those categories. Like I'm not, you know, a first time mom anymore and things like that. So I'm not on iron, and I also did not have to do the 3-hour glucose test. Thank God. I had to do that last time. I did the 1 hour obviously, and then they wanted me to come back and do the 3 hour. Don't know exactly what triggered like those numbers to be the way that they were, but I do know that this go around I just had to do the 1 hour glucose test. Everything was fine, so I don't have to come back and do the 3 hour. So those are just a few things that I've been thinking about that I want to do differently, and that I have been doing differently thus far. If there are other things, if you are watching this because you are pregnant as well with your second baby, what are some things that you are doing differently? I want to hear from you. Hopefully, even if you're not pregnant, even if you've never like had a baby before, that this information is interesting and it also sparks some conversation between you, your family, or you and your partner, or just you in your own space thinking about kind of things that you want to do, things that you may not want to do. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you right back here in another video. Don't forget to check out my latest monthly pregnancy update. I will go ahead and leave the playlist down below. And I appreciate you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon. Remember to always fill your cup. Bye.